Hey everybody, new channel here I guess, and I'm gonna make an engine tutorial. So first we're gonna need a base plate. The engine is actually kind of simple, just don't take too much power from it and it will start. So if you guys came here because you have engine problems not starting, it's because it's taking too much power. So we're gonna boom. So with this type of engine, I really don't recommend a clutch. I mean, I guess you can use it if you really needed to, but the clutch, it demands power. So we're just gonna hook it up. So pipes, you can transfer electricity, basically anything. So we're just gonna start off with the coolant. Coolant's pretty simple. Most people use radiators, but you can use water to cool it, or a heatsink. For speedboats, people sometimes use the water and the heatsink, but we're just going to use our radiator as a normal power source. So, boom, okay. Don't know how to spell, guys. Okay, boom. So, the radiator's hooked up. So now we're going to need some exhaust. So exhaust is really simple, guys. All you gotta do is just hook up an exhaust, or just anything that transfer out fluids. So we're gonna grab ourselves a pipe and an exhaust system, or an exhaust itself. People sometimes use these things over here for speedboats and for cars. So hook this up, and boom, look at that. Okay, so the fuel, it's different, right? And so if you can, in theory, just hook up a tank to it and it would run. It's like this. Hook up a tank, it would run. Let me grab myself a medium one instead. So like this. Boom, boom, and boom. But if the fuel tank were to be like 20 blocks away, maybe because you're making a big boat or something, we'd go over here and we'd add a pump. Because the fuel is far away, it's not gonna be that effective. So guys, make sure that this says fluid in, because if it says out, it's not gonna work. So we're gonna do this. And just get rid of this, I guess. Boom. And grab this. And that. So now we got this thing hooked up. We're gonna need air. That's air, right? Yeah. And so I'm just gonna use a fluid port. So we can search a fluid port, or you can use anything, as long as it, like, you can in theory use an exhaust pipe. So like that. Boom. And so I'm just gonna use a gearbox for this. I'm not gonna use a clutch because clutches prove to be ineffective to me. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna need a wheel. Let's go use this small one. Boom, like that. And so now all we need is just to give it some power and some controls. So I'm just gonna be using a medium battery for me. Yeah. Also, there's another problem. If we keep turning off the engine and starting it up over and over and over and using controls, we're going to be needing to hook up a generator to it. So engine hooks up to the generator. So we're gonna need a T-pipe. That means we're also gonna need to get rid of, I don't know if we need to, but I'm just going to get rid of the gearbox. So we hook up the generator to here, this. Then we grab this, boom. So that's hooked up now. So we're gonna need some controls. We're gonna need a throttle, boom. We're gonna need a button, boom. We're also gonna need a toggle for the fuel. Oh, oops. Did not grab the button. You gotta push button, guys. Don't be like me. And boop. Nope. Boom. 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 And we're also gonna add 3 dials. Why 3? 1 to display the battery, 2 for the tank, and 3 it outputs how much energy is coming out from the generator itself. And so we're gonna rename these actually, just to make it easier. So in order to do that, we're gonna go up here to select generator, battery, fuel, tank, engine starter, fuel pump, and engine throttle. Right. So once we've done that, we're gonna make sure everything's hooked up first. So this, that. By the way, guys, if you have any problems and you're just doing this, dragging it like that, all you have to do is just hold control. So if you hold control, it lets you depress like that. Okay, so now we're gonna use our data, and so like this is gonna be generator, this is going to be battery, this is gonna be fuel tank, this is gonna be engine starter, this is going to be a fuel pump, and you can also display temperatures on dials, rotations, RPS basically, and temperature. If your temperature is super high, then it's going to break. We're also going to need another toggle button for reverse. That's why we added the gearbox, guys. So we're going to go reverse like that. And so then we're going to put ratio 1 is basically going forward, right? Forward. So we're going to do backwards on the ratio 2, and ratio 2 is when you press the button. So this is why this is called reverse. We're going to make sure that's hooked up too, and we should be able to go now. Like this. So reverse activates. And so if you can't do any of this, it's because you don't have a battery. So let's turn up engine throttle, activate fuel pump, engine starter. So this is another problem, guys. You see, if it does that, right? It's because it doesn't have enough power to keep supplying this over and over. So the power is being taken out of the engine and it's shutting down. So what we can do to fix this is add a clutch. So by adding a clutch, we just put this there. Even though fuel, actually the tanks or the tank tracks actually do take a lot of power out, and so this is quite ineffective by using this, but I'm just using it just for the example. If you guys are using tank wheels for some reason or anything, you shouldn't have this problem as long as you're using propellers. The only reason why I'm using tracks is because they don't work on land, like it says right here in the description. A small boat propeller power received from an engine affects the forward and backward force generated. This propeller will only operate underwater. So if we just add another one of this, because we can control how much power goes through, or we can use a gearbox, but I'm just gonna use a clutch. So the max value will be 0.50, so it doesn't overload. Hook this up too. Use our logic to connect this. I swear I had this hooked up. Now everything's connected. So, boom. So we're gonna activate the clutch all the way to 0.50, engine throttle all the way up, fuel pump, and now we have it running. So the generator's producing this amount of battery. It's taken from the fuel tank too, and it's not gonna waste. So we basically have a fully working engine. You could hook this up, you know, get it working on the ground, maybe add some wheels. But so far, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you set up an engine. If you guys enjoyed this video, I really hope you like and subscribe. Maybe comment on other videos you want to do. And I guess see ya.